Hey everybody, Madeleine Parker here to talk about the conjunction of Neptune in Pisces in the sign and conjoining the North Node in the sign of Pisces, 28 degrees. Now, the last time the North Node was in Pisces was the American Civil War, 1861. Um, and the last time the North Node conjoined Neptune in Pisces was beyond. We can't even, it's like 12,000 years ago. I mean, this is very major transit, very rare. And foretells the end of a major cycle. And we are in a 9 year, which is a karmic ending. And then we have the North Node in the sign of Pisces and the South Node in the sign of Virgo. So this is a new direction in spirituality, a new direction. So we're ending one because the nodes are going into Pisces and Neptune is going to go into Aries. So we're so Neptune rules Pisces. Neptune's going into Aries soon, which is very much a leader energy, which is about initiating new beginnings. And we have the nodes in Pisces, which is about spirituality. So we're entering a new era where we're going to go into a time of awakening spirituality, or what that is, the truth, a spiritual truth that is in alignment with humanity and where humanity is evolving now. We're changing. The evolution of humanity is completely changing. Now, Neptune is spirituality. It's the dream world. It's nebulous. That's the word nebulous comes from Neptune. It's hard to sort of define. That's why the energies right now are very mysterious, very quiet, very dreamlike. People's dreams are very vivid. The veils are very thin. People are very, very psychic right now. We're very connecting to an intuitive knowing, intuitive guidance. Um, and then the North Node is our destiny. So our North Node, the North Node being next to Neptune, Neptune is ending an entire era as it moves Pisces. Neptune in Pisces is ending the Piscean era when it moves into Aries. And then we have the nodes moving into Pisces. So we're leaving the Kali Yuga and we're initiating a new era, golden era, where the reason we're more golden is because there's a more balanced spiritual and material way of living. So we're getting deep spiritual guidance right now. We're going deep within to find spiritual clarity, to find our spiritual path, our dharma, because the Pisces is ruled by Jupiter, which is a dharma energy, and but Pisces is a moksha energy, which is a liberating of a cycle, and it's hitting at the 28th degree point, which is going to be 29 degrees soon, which is the Gandanta point, which is tying off, unraveling knots, karmic loose ends, and unraveling karmic knots. So this is a very introspective, reflective time again, very quiet time to discover and to connect with our soul so that we gain clarity on our new path and our right path. That's what Dharma is to travel, is to know your path. So we're gaining clarity of our destiny. The nodes are always our destiny, of our destined right path that will be our path in this new era, which is going to initiate when Neptune moves into the sign of Aries. That's a whole new cycle starting. So we're going to be, and then with the nodes in Pisces and with the South Node in Virgo, we're going to be letting go of perfectionism, controlling. We're going to be letting go of trying to be busy for the sake of being busy, or just working for things that don't have meaning. And then instead, we're going to be reaching for things that are more fulfilling, that are more soulfully aligned with our desire, our true dharma, our true purpose. And because in the age of Aquarius, everybody steps up to their calling, because that's what Aquarius is. You're living your chart, you're living your astrology chart, you're living your truth. And so we're shifting into those energies of of so Pisces, Neptune is the end of the cycle. So we're wrapping up and ending old karmic knots that are not a part of our new destiny or our new direction that the North nodes are going to take us into. So I'm going to share the chart, and go to, this is 1861. Neptune was at 27 degrees Pisces at the beginning of the Civil War. And we do have a Pluto right now in the same energy of revolution. So it's like we've got Civil War and revolution. Now, in my opinion, it's passive because it's during the age of Aquarius, which is more of a galvanized everybody coming together with the same and look at that kite there. Wow, that happened in that American Civil War. There was a big kite, not to get distracted by that. But anyway, here we are now, and there it is. There's Neptune and the nodes conjoining 28 degrees, making a rather interesting rectangle here, but I don't need the Juno in there. That doesn't need to be a part of this. So we're making quite a, oh wow, we got this trine here going on. I mean, this kite going on. Isn't that great? Interesting. Wow. So this is about us flowing. This is totally about flowing and not doing Virgo, which is diligence, hard work. We still, of course, have to do all that. I'm not saying we let that go completely, but we're moving more, we're flowing into this. We're focused more on our direction being guided by a flow, our dharma, rather than survival. So we're sort of we're taking the oars up out of the boat and letting the boat kind of just ride into the dock, as it were. So I was going to go through all the 12 houses, and by the way, we're really ending major cycles here, major end era. And so that's what's going to be happening. I'm going to go through all the 12 houses of where we're ending and wrapping things up for each sign. Where are we wrapping up, untying old karmic knots and old cycle, a big cycle shift. So there's an ending involved in our Pisces house. So for Aries, it's going to be in your 12th house. It's going to be about general overall karma around past life perceptions. It's going to be about how the old way of the world in the old era has influenced, because Pisces is very much about perceptions that are lingered from an old time, from an old era. So the Aries are going through a complete releasing of karmic perceptions that are not true anymore, because as each era and each year changes in astrology, where things are different. So there's a new way of seeing things now. And so Aries are releasing and untangling old fears, old karmic knots around spirituality, around travel, around actually Aries traveling will get spiritual insights. So, and by the way, these are all bringing us spiritual insights, downloads. For Aries, they're going to get a lot of downloads, a lot of spiritual insight, psychic visions, really vivid dreams, dreams that bring you direction. If an Aries wants to ask their dream angels, whoever you're speaking to, your guides, to give you answers and messages during your dreams, they will be very, very vivid. So Aries are going to have very vivid dreams. Also, clarity on the karmic source of a fear of spirituality. All right. So now we're going to move to Taurus. So Taurus, they're going to have Pisces in their 11th house. So they're going to be wrapping up old beliefs in tribe. So groups of people in sort of the way. So you're releasing and tying up knots around groups and tribes of people that are part of your old life. So in other words, you're seeing some kind of clarity about a perception about who your friends are, who your tribe are, who's right for you, and gaining deep spiritual insights and intuitive downloads that I would say give you a lot of optimism, because the 11th house is Aquarius, can be very an optimistic house, but it's also about sort of an awakening. This is the house of awakening to spirituality, and how wanting to make more of a alignment with people that have more higher visions or more spiritual visions, or you're just having a whole transformation around your friends and the people that you hang out with, and you want to sort of transform to a more spiritual tribe, or you become the leader who helps transform your tribe into spirituality. But there's an awakening here with the 11th house there. Dreams again, very vivid dreams, psychic abilities, psychic flashes come in, but perhaps on um, your true tribe. So then we get to the career house, Pisces, that's going to be for Gemini. So they're going to get downloads. They're going to wrap up an old untangled career, a career that has old sort of career choices and any kind of entanglement around those careers start to disintegrate. You start to see clarity around what is more your career. You start to untangle karmic knots or ways that you're controlling things, or even just your perception of what your true career is. And you release a karmic knot there and you let it go and you let it unravel and you let this old way of working, old career sort of disintegrate and unravel. It could be feeling scary. By the way, it could be feeling scary for everybody as these old things dissolve and go away. But really, what's happening is that um, our perceptions, the way we define things, is dissolving. So there's going to be a new way of a career, a new beginning in, I would say, in your motive for career. So now we're getting into a desire to be more spiritual with a career. Now that can be soulful or lining up with a more soul aligned career. But you're ending a pattern of being in a career out of a perception, what you think is the right career rather than what is your soul's desire. Now you're going to get downloads, psychic flashes, and maybe past life visions that show you your dharma and your true purpose and your calling in this career, and then you shift to it. But again, this is a quiet, introspective, meditative time where you start to really reflect on what that is. So now we're going to go to Cancer. This is in your ninth house. This is about spirituality, about teaching, learning, gurus, finding a teacher, finding a spiritual direction, a spiritual path. This is your Dharma house. It's very much about getting onto a very more aligned path with a spiritual calling. Now, again, downloads, clarity, very open psychic abilities here. Everybody's psychic abilities are wide and open right now. You're going to get clarity of your dharmic path. And there's some sort of shift here in a belief, in a perception of the Cancer's ability. So in other words, because this is the ninth house, there's letting go of old teachings, of old philosophies, of old out of date spiritual structures. I haven't even gotten into Saturn, but that's a part of it too. But there's old spiritual doctrines or religions or something to do with spirituality or philosophy that, or teachings, old teachings are no longer relevant. So now Cancers are waking up to a new way of operating in that area of life, beliefs, travel, opening up to different ways of traveling, different places to travel you've never traveled to before, new ideas about spirituality, the more modern. We're going more modern now. We're really upgrading to a new contemporary spirituality. So the Cancers are sort of waking up to higher philosophies and truths around spirituality that are more that could go back from many years, thousands and thousands of years ago. But there's some sort of re-understanding of a truer philosophy and spirituality that is more leading us to the future. So now we're going to go to Leo. Leo have Pisces in their eighth house. So there's going to be a total transformation, death and rebirth, a complete transformation of control, understanding, definitely very psychic, intuitive things coming through, being guided to transform and to take more risks and to be trusting and to sort of go for a destiny where you're risking more. You're not afraid of money as much, and um, but this is a moksha house, so it's liberating you of fears that are holding you back, and also perceptions that are spiritually blocking you, spiritual perceptions that are old, out of date. And you're going to open up, Leo, to this sort of ability, because Pisces over the eighth house is going to be psychic. So if you have any planets there, you're really going to get very psychic guidance here, very psychic. See this kite? We're being guided very, very guided here to go towards this new destiny, this new direction in our lives. And this Neptune in the eighth house is really making you not be able to be in your head. That's happening to everybody. It's really dissolving our mind, and you're really going from a very strong, intuitive, guttural desire to go forward. Now, this is also a relationship house, so there could also be a spiritual awakening around the relationship that you most want to see your future in. So there could be a death in a relationship and a rebirth, or a relationship is transformed, but there's definitely spiritual awakening and transformation occurring around money, fears, um, old karmic ways of operating that were very toxic, that were fear-based, that now you open up because you feel more spiritually awakened, or you get it on a spiritual level, so you let go of these control issues and these fear issues, and you start to really flow. These energies in general, people are able to really let go more because of that south node in Virgo. We let go of control, we're relaxing more, we're just flowing, we're being quiet and still. There can be crisis in this house, in these moksha houses, the 12th and the 8th, where we experience loss. But that loss is so that we experience less body energy. We go more out of body, and we experience. So whatever loss we experience is because we're too materially attached to. So now we're going to go for Pisces in the seventh house. So let's just put that with a relationship. We're going to release and let go relationships that are more material, that are not spiritual. We're changing our perception for Virgo. This is Virgo rising. We're changing our perception on what a relationship is. What is the right spiritual connection? We're really waking up to, you could be in a relationship with your spiritual counterpart, your true spiritual counterpart, and not be fully aware of that. And you go into co-collaborative destiny, soul contract, and you wake up to seeing, wow, this is my true long-term relationship. We are here together for the long haul. Let's take on a big mission together, do this together, do something fabulous for the earth. Because remember, the North Node and Neptune is soul contract, 100%. So Virgos are going to step into soul contracted mission uh, um, projects with their divine counterpart or business partnerships. But there's a dissolving of relationships and perceptions of what relationships were right for the Virgo. Now they're waking up to seeing that they want a spiritual alliance. Um, this kite really is fascinating me because this is really pointing that this is the most important transit in our charts right now, is this Neptune North Node. So you're being led through relationships to your destiny, to your new destiny, but you have to dissolve some sort of rigid or old perception about relationships. You're going to get downloads, dreams, your person. If you're single and you're not with your person, you're going to get dreams of your person. Um, if you're in separation, they will probably come back during this transit. But the point of this transit is that we get onto soul contract with our destined mate. And this is, again, very rare transit. So this is a very powerful shift in the relationship house for Virgo. So now let's go to Scorpio. This is going to be, oops, I think I went too far. Wait, Scorpio ascendant. I'm sorry, Libra. We missed Libra. So Libra in your sixth house. This is a challenging house, but it is a work house. It's about money. It's about financial or feeling stable, and it's also a health house, and it's about what we do on a day-to-day. So Libra rising are deleting and dissolving old perceptions of old spiritual beliefs, again, on a day-to-day, old spiritual practices, old ways of operating in a busy way, again with that south node in Virgo in your 12th house. There's a very karmic release of fear-based action, fear-based busyness, addictive to busyness, escaping, letting that go, because the Libra is going to escape through busyness. And Neptune is an escapist energy. So now we're going to go into healing, medicine, spiritual practices that are very grounding, that are and a calling to serve, and not there. And during this conjunction, there's going to be this sort of desire to have meaning and purpose in your life, and to put some kind of improvement on the planet, to leave your legacy, to be of matter, to have effect on the planet, and to do it through selfless service. And you're dissolving old karma and old knots around busyness and work in areas that were not coming from the heart of service. And so now the Libra is going to want to be is going to feel like coming forward and serving humanity from the heart, from the, shall we say, from it knowing that that is how the cup will be filled, and fulfillment in that experience, a deep sense of fulfillment from stepping into being of service. And it comes with pain, though that's not the easiest of transits, but it's dissolving the ways that Virgo would have operated from a place of control and trying to avert, shall we say, challenges, rather than going forward and just stepping in head first, imperfect, with an intention, not knowing the way, but just going for it, kind of an energy without fear. So we're really dissolving some sort of fear for Virgo here. I mean, Libra, a fear of not being perfect, a fear of not showing up right all the time, or going, because Libras like to keep people around them happy. So going against what other people would have liked, but doing what is in your soul to do, to be, and you know that's how you're here to be of service. Okay. So then we're going to go put Pisces in the fifth house. That's for Scorpio. So this is a creative house and relationship. So you're dissolving old friendships, old relationships, and starting to go. This is also entrepreneurial. This is a house of Dharma too. Stepping into more something that is a creative passion, or a collaborative effort, or an entrepreneurial effort that is really destined. And you're dissolving old perceptions about who your friends groups are, who you should be friends with, and you're stepping more into people that you want to go forward into a new paradigm with, into a new era with, a new group of friends. But shall we say, dissolving old groups of friends, and old, shall we say, acquaintances, and also just being in superficial relationships in general, to more soulful connected relationships that go in your future with you, that you can co-collaborate in projects with, or creative things, or creative entrepreneurial ventures that are part of your new life. So, and you can also have a pregnancy here and have children in this energy too, with the nodes there in your fifth house for the whole 18 months coming up here. So basically, dissolving of old friendships and old projects, entrepreneurial ventures, or creative projects that were just there because they were superficial connections, and they weren't real they weren't your spiritually aligned, destined part of your um, Dharma group. Okay. Now we're going to put Sagittarius over your fourth house, moving. My Sagittarius sun literally today moved into a whole nother country. So sorry, island, Puerto Rico, not a country. It's kind of another country, but anyway, so we've got all this movement going on in the fourth house. So you're wrapping up, dissolving an old place of living, an old area of living completely, and stepping into your Dharma it's a moksha house, so it's a liberating house. So you've untangled some long-term knot in a living situation or family. You may be moving out of your home if you were living with a mother or something, but you're definitely setting yourself, ending a cycle of a pattern of living in places that are, or living in a way that was not really your highest choice, as it were. And now you're letting that go. You're dissolving that. It was more, shall we say, more security-based choices, and moving and discovering and stepping forward into a dharma, into your purpose, into your calling, which involves moving location, or changing family, or leaving your family, or developing a new family, or ending and dissolving a family. You could be getting divorced if you're married, dissolving a family that isn't the right family for you, that was more of a fear-based, security-based choice. Fourth house is often security-based choices. Okay, so now we're going to put Capricorn, third house. Wow, communication, short distance travel, siblings, resolving siblings. Siblings could pass in this energy, but resolving and dissolving, usually that can be moving, but ending, living in a certain area, a certain location around you changes, dissolving that. I would say also communication is involved in this, and inner dialogue, like this is a big perception house where you're really changing your perceptions, and your thinking, and mastering your thinking a little more to really align into more sacred thinking and to be more intuitive. You're going to be very intuitive during this. Capricorns actually are very intuitive and feeling and intuiting into what your new vision is, getting visions, getting ideas, maybe writing projects, maybe dissolving an old business and starting something new. The South Node there is in your ninth house, so you're really letting go of rigid beliefs and thinkings and thoughts, and that really opens up your whole life now to other options and other ideas, what are going on else on in your chart. But your true calling and your true purpose here now sort of becomes clear, and your perceptions were blocking it, and now you're kind of get this clarity of where to go, where to take your energy, how to go forward, where to initiate, because we're going to get initiating energies coming in soon. So we're preparing for that. We're just getting clarity on where we are going to initiate here when a lot of these planets move into Aries. Okay, so now we're going to go into Aquarius. So Aquarius has it in your second house. So you're dissolving an old career, an old way of making money is going bye-bye, and an old cycle of security fear-based choices of income where you're just believing in poverty. Also, you don't know your worth. You're not fully aware of your value. And also this is a talent house where you can wake up to your abilities to create things, make things, and also it is also a house of inheritance. So valuable possessions. So maybe you sell them, you release, you get rid of things, you're releasing old things, and now you're clearing off your clutter and getting rid of things and attachments to material possessions. You're releasing that, letting things go. And now what happens is you are free and fresh and open to your new dharma, your path on how to really discover your way of making money that fills your cup, that makes you feel as though you are on a mission and you're here doing what you were here to do, because Aquarius are major light workers, up bringing the vibrations of the planet up. And so we're really definitely, for Aquarius, there's an awakening that in their finances, they can make very, very established success and securities through a path that is spiritually aligned or fulfilling or more soulful desired destiny. And last but not least, we are going to go into Pisces here. So Pisces, this is in your first house. So this is your whole life changing. Like my son, he's Sagittarius, he moved, but he's rising Pisces. So your whole dharma, you're wrapping up, you're literally Pisces, all that sort of karma that you've come in with from your past life. The Pisces can be very, shall we say, doomsday, and nothing feels like it's working out oftentimes for Pisces. Well, now that's kind of changing. That's an old energy. You're dissolving a whole way of being, your whole identity, and in the whole sort of identity that Pisces can hold that they're failing. It's a big one for Pisces. Shifts. They see their value more. They're really feeling empowered. You're gonna have the North Node in your first house. You always move with the North Node in your first house. I did. And you feel very much like you're on your path. You're doing your thing. You're in your power. You're in your sovereignty for Pisces. You've been definitely going through clarifying and purifying with Neptune in your first house for 8 years. Now it's going to go into your second house. You're going to feel leadership connection. Your ruling planet is going to be in your second house. It's go time for you to make good money. Pisces are going to make a lot of good money here. So that is a rundown of all the 12 houses of this big spiritual shift that we're having in the collective for all of us, where we're now walking more into our soul aligned paths, the path that is our dharma, that feels like it's filling our cup, and finding our quiet, our guidance through the quiet of what exactly the clarity on what that is in time for when all these planets are going to move into Aries, which will happen in about a month. Pretty soon, we're going to start seeing the shift. So this is important, quiet, reflective time to really gain divine guidance and the clarity, because Neptune is an unclear, it's nebulous. So now we're going to get the nodes come in very loud. They really make things very clear and strong. Somebody who has a north node Mercury conjoined, they are big speakers. They speak loud. They're very clear. They're very firm. They're very strong. So we have Neptune and the nodes together. The nodes coming in and giving Neptune a lot of fire and a lot of strength. So that's giving us a lot of impetus to really align with our spiritual center. It's Sumati. It's to be feeling a wholeness. We're pulling inward and sitting with ourselves and feeling complete and dissolving anything in our lives that is no longer part of our our complete selves. So anything toxic, anything uninteresting, anything relationships that aren't positive, or we're just sort of shedding all these things from our past, old clutter that we don't need, because we're going into a whole new era, a whole new paradigm, and we're going to need our vibrations to be very high. We're entering into the age of Aquarius with very high vibes. So we're releasing lower density, fear-based, karmic, toxic knots. We're unraveling them because we're at the degree point here, going to go 29 degrees. It's the Gandanta point in Vedic, where it's the end of the knot. We untied the old karmic knot. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that this gives you more clarity towards your dharmic path, and have a wonderful, reflective time. All right. Namaste.